Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and in just a moment, I'll be talking about the volatility Ethereum has been having around the previous all-time high level and comparing it to past all-time high breakouts. I will also update you on some other important levels to pay attention to for Ethereum holders and the continuation of the breakout to the upside for Ethereum valued against Bitcoin. And that is not all. Later in this video, I will be talking about Polygon, also known as Matic, which is one of my top altcoin holdings, and it is one of your most suggested altcoins in the comment section down below. All of that and more in this video, so definitely stick around all the way to the end of this video so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And just before you jump into it, you might as well hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. It's right here on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the daily time frame. And what we can see here is obviously Ethereum is continuing to maintain these important levels of support. These are the same levels of support that I was talking about yesterday on the channel, so I'll only be quick talking about these levels today. First of all, we have this huge volume cluster to the downside where the biggest spike in volume is coming in at around 3.3k approximately, which is pretty close to where that flash crash bottomed out at the bottom of that wick. Above that, we have the 120-day simple moving average coming in close to 3.8k now. And the reason why the 120-day SMA is so important for Ethereum, at least right now, is because of the massive amount of confluence around this moving average we've seen pretty much throughout this entire year. For example, all the way back here during May and June, we found huge support along this exact moving average, and then that flipped into resistance as we broke below, leading into July. And then the moment we broke back above this moving average, we flipped it into support right then and there, and we came back down to find huge support again along this moving average at the end of the September correction. And on top of that, we've also now got this volume cluster coming in at around 4.1k to 4.2k is where the largest spike of volume in this cluster is coming in at. So technically speaking, while Ethereum is above 4.1k approximately, that should be acting as support for Ethereum in the shorter term. And according to the VPVR indicator, we actually don't have a whole lot of resistance left to the upside. Of course, we do have this point of resistance in the price action and the all-time high level acting as resistance. And by the way, they're coming in at around 4.7k and about 4.8k as two major levels of resistance for Ethereum to the upside. And staying on the daily time frame for Ethereum, just to remind you that we have already formed this bullish divergence that I have been talking about over the past few days now on the channel. And so what I've been saying over the past 3 days is the fact that this bullish divergence means that the price of Ethereum is going to see reduced selling pressure over the next few days, and that is already beginning to play out really nicely here with that small bounce back to the upside. So even though short-term bearish price action is always possible, in terms of larger moves to the downside on the daily chart, that won't really be happening again, at least straight away, according to this bullish divergence. But once again, this is just in the shorter term for Ethereum, talking about the next few days or so. Now zooming all the way out to the weekly time frame for Ethereum to take a look at this all-time high level. This was the previous all-time high that we set back in May this year at just below 4.4k. And what we could see in the Ethereum price action that has formed over the past 1.5 months is the fact that the price has found a lot of volatility around the previous all-time high level. So yes, we did put in a new all-time high, but we didn't really see a proper successful breakout to the upside with a confirmed retest, because that retest to the downside immediately closed back below this previous all-time high level. And even though Ethereum hasn't played out this exact same thing in the past, we have played out very similar things in the past. For example, looking at this peak right here, this was the top of the 2017 bull market that actually led into January 2018. And that bull market put in a new all-time high for Ethereum at that stage, which was coming in at just above 1,400 US dollars per Ethereum. And that stayed the all-time high for Ethereum for a few years actually, before we finally broke back above that previous all-time high only in the beginning of this year. And looking at the price action around the all-time high level, we did actually find a lot of volatility around that level before we finally continued a further breakout to the upside. And measuring out that volatility earlier this year when we were breaking into a new all-time high, that was almost 2 months worth of volatility of somewhat sideways price action, if you want to call it that, before Ethereum finally continued on the breakout to the upside. So as I said earlier, this is not the exact same thing as what we're seeing right now, but it is very similar. And now going back to the 2017 bull cycle, that was the peak that we were just talking about at 1400. But going a little bit further back in around November and December 2017, at that stage, Ethereum was breaking into a brand new all-time high above these previous highs. And we did find a little bit of volatility around that all-time high level before then Ethereum continued on with the breakout to the upside. But in this example, that was only around 2 to 3 weeks of sideways volatility before Ethereum began exploding to the upside again. So the point of this is to understand that this type of price action that we've seen over the past 1 to 2 months is very similar to previous Ethereum price action anytime we've broken into a new all-time high. And so according to previous price action and previous bull markets, it's only a matter of time before we continue on with this bull market with the next major leg to the upside. Of course, once we really break above the all-time high with extra confirmation. But as always, it's important to mention that nothing in these markets is guaranteed. So just because we've seen similar price action to this in the past, that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything's going to happen in the future. And just giving you a really quick update on Ethereum valued against Bitcoin on the daily chart just here. Of course, we are still continuing with this breakout to the upside where the technical price target is coming in at around 0.1 Bitcoin per Ethereum. But as I mentioned in yesterday's Ethereum update video, in the shorter term, we are getting a little bit overheated here according to the daily RSI, reaching into overbought territories. So look, if we do experience a little bit of a short-term cool-off in the price action for Ethereum valued against Bitcoin, honestly, I won't really be surprised if that's the case. And just as long as we don't fall back below this line, coming in at around 0.0765 Bitcoin per Ethereum, then that 0.1 Bitcoin per Ethereum price target to the upside is technically still in play. And just before I get into the Matic technical analysis today, I thought while we're on the topic of Polygon, aka Matic, I'll just quickly talk about how Unstoppable Domains is utilizing Polygon instead of Ethereum. Previously, Unstoppable Domains were using Ethereum, but obviously the transaction fees on Ethereum are just crazy right now. So less than a month ago, they switched over to Polygon, bringing the transaction fees on Unstoppable Domains down to 0, which of course gives Polygon, aka Matic, fundamental value. And by the way, if you want to check out this page, you'll find the first link down below will take you to this exact page right here. And by the way, for the new viewers on the channel that don't know what Unstoppable Domains is, it's one of the biggest crypto domain providers that actually mints their domains as NFTs on Polygon. And by doing that, you can also link these domains to a crypto wallet address, for example, therefore solving the problem of having a huge string of random numbers and letters as your crypto wallet address. So just as an example, I could have the josh.wallet domain and then link that to one of my crypto wallets. So then if I want someone to send me some crypto, I can just send them my josh.wallet domain in that example. And just like any other domains, you can hold onto these domains for the longer term and even sell them for a profit if someone else is willing to come along and buy that domain off you. And once again, if you want to check out Unstoppable Domains, I will have a link down below. In fact, it will be the first link in the description and the first link in the pinned comment. But anyway, getting into the Polygon analysis today, and obviously Polygon has been exploding to the upside recently, and this is exactly why I've been telling you for almost 2 months now, since around the middle of October, that this coin right here, Polygon, is one of my top altcoin holdings. And basically right now at the time filming this video, the final point of resistance left to the upside for Polygon is simply the all-time high level coming in close to $2.70. And by the way, this is the Polygon to US dollar chart on the daily time frame. And ever since April this year, Polygon has been holding this upwards trending line of support, which is obviously extremely bullish because that means we're constantly making higher lows on the charts. And just zooming in a little bit closer, we've even broken above this point of resistance and flipped it into support. And by the way, this right here, that was an inverse head and shoulders pattern, as you can see. I covered that in my most recent Polygon update video that I posted around 3 to 4 days ago now, basically saying then and there that I'm still remaining bullish on Polygon even after all of this bullish price action that we've seen so far. And just measuring out the technical price target for this inverse head and shoulders pattern, we have just now hit that price target coming in at around $2.50. So technically speaking, that can also act as a little bit of short-term resistance there before we can get to the all-time high. And once again, I'll let you know about that price target around 3 to 4 days ago now. When you're looking in the daily RSI and the daily MACD, we still have room to run to the upside. For example, the daily RSI isn't even in overbought territories yet. We're still technically in the neutral area even after the recent explosion to the upside. So that just makes me even more bullish on Polygon moving forward. And obviously, for as long as Ethereum transaction fees are just ridiculously high, that will continue to add value to Polygon moving forward. Not to mention that the Polygon Zero Knowledge Day is only a few days away, and even Vitalik Buterin will be getting involved, who is the co-founder of Ethereum. So if you're more interested in the project's fundamentals, that could be something to check out coming up soon. But just quickly taking a look at Polygon valued against Bitcoin on the daily time frame, because obviously we are continuing to explode to the upside out of that bullish falling wedge pattern that we were previously forming on the charts. And we saw a textbook breakout for this falling wedge pattern. Of course, we saw the initial breakout, and then we came back down to form a retest of this previous line of resistance to flip it into new support. And the moment Polygon confirmed that bounce right there, it was basically off to the moon. And the technical price target for this pattern is the top of the wedge, coming in at around 6,000 Satoshis per Matic token, which from the current price right now at the time filming this video to that price target is around a 26% gain against Bitcoin. But keep in mind, on this chart right now, we are actually in overbought territories in the daily RSI, which basically means that we could be due sometime soon, possibly over the next few days or so, to experience a little bit of a short-term cool-off along the way up. But for the longer term, or at least while Ethereum transaction fees are incredibly high, I am really bullish on Polygon. The only thing that would make me bearish on Polygon Polygon over the long term is when or if we see a successful launch of Ethereum 2.0. If you enjoyed this video or got something valuable out of it, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. As always, I really do appreciate all of you supporting the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. And before you click off, make sure you're checking out one of these uploads if you haven't already, because these videos just here can potentially help you make a lot more money in the crypto markets. But anyway, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.